Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been so long since I've edited a video and filmed and sat and done all of this stuff. But I thought since it's the end of the year, I would show you guys my 2020 setup. I think I've done a review on this folio. If I haven't, then I'm definitely gonna film one soon. But I was just kind of showing you guys all of the different pockets and stuff that are in it. If there isn't a video, though, I'll definitely do like an in-depth review of the folio itself. So I have a lot of like stickers and printouts. And I'm showing you that my Micron PN pen is like my favorite pen, and then I have this mechanical pencil and a 6-inch ruler that I use pretty much every single day, and then the back of the notebook just fits into that little slot and it's there. And it's a nice way to protect your journal and carry some extra stuff along with you if you are into that kind of thing. So first off, we are going to kind of flip through what I have in this journal so far. I haven't been using it that long, and I definitely haven't been using it consistently. So I was just kind of flipping through all of the pages that I did have, and going through and kind of taking some notes for myself. Like, I need to stop drawing habit trackers because it's like a waste of space for me, and then I feel bad at the end of the month when I haven't used them. But I'm going through and putting some things into my index because this journal does have a built-in index. If it didn't, honestly, I don't think I would use an index. My next journal is the Teku Core notebook, and it doesn't have an index, so I'm not planning on using one when I switch over to that eventually, but I'm definitely going to fill up this notebook first because I really love it. So we're still just going through, kind of showing you guys what I had done for my dailies, and that is as far as I had gotten. So what I decided to do is skip a couple of pages and then start some 2020 spreads, because I figured there's like 2-ish weeks left in the year, and I'm probably not going to be using my journal that much because of Christmas and New Year's and just being with family. So I figured that 2 spreads would be enough for me to fill in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, however long is left before January starts. So one thing that I hate doing are these, like, those spreads, those 2020 at a glance spreads with all of the days on it and everything, but I did it anyway, and I'm kind of showing you guys how I did it. It's a little bit hard to see, but what I've done is I put in the first date and then went down the week. So I did where the 1st is, where the 8th is, where the 15th is, and where the 29th is, I guess it is, and then just filled in until the end of the month, if that makes sense. If that makes any sense at all, just so I wouldn't have to draw in all 365 days just to erase them and then write over them again, because I think that's really annoying. So I did that, and then I guess like towards the end of it, it kind of got a little bit easier, but it was definitely not my favorite thing to do. I definitely don't like doing this, and I'm not going to refer to it, and I know that I won't, but it looks nice, so that's honestly most of why I did it. And now we're going in and inking. I'm using the Staedtler pigment liner, not Tri-Plus fine liner. The Staedtler pigment liner, which is kind of the equivalent of the Micron, but the Staedtler brand. And just going in and writing in all of those dates, which took forever, and it's taking forever in this video too. But yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing like a setup kind of video or anything. I wasn't planning on doing anything in my journal, but I kind of figured that a lot is happening in 2020 for me, so it might be nice to do something. I also haven't done anything with the page on the left. I'm thinking that maybe I'll figure out a way to like actually use the spread to be like kind of useful. I thought that maybe I could kind of like color code and use my Tombos to like draw a dot on the date, if that makes sense. Like draw a dot on the date on the calendar and then go over to the left page, so you can kind of see where all of these events are lining up and everything. I don't know, it sounds confusing. I kind of just want to do like a watercolor painting maybe, or like a marker illustration, and just kind of paste it in there. But we're coming to the bottom. I didn't really want it to be perfect. Like, you can kind of tell that my handwriting, like, it gets bigger, it gets smaller. The like side, like the letters are kind of squished. I kind of like that, actually. I like that it doesn't look perfect. It kind of makes it feel like it's less pressure, and I'm needing my kneaded eraser so that I can get all the pencil marks off of the paper. I like using a kneaded eraser in my bullet journal more than using like a regular eraser, like that white one, just because it's a little bit more gentle on the paper, so it doesn't, I end up like not like ruining the pages. But then I'm just taking a really pastel Tombow, and I'm layering 1 layer for the first 3 months, 2 for the next 3, 3 for the next 3, and then 4 for the next 3 to create like kind of an ombre kind of thing. And then I'm just lettering Year at a Glance in 2020 on the top of the page. And I'll go in and letter the all of the months in right now. I just thought it was like kind of a cute and simple kind of way to incorporate all of the months and everything. And I thought that would be kind of nice to do. I'm trying to think of what's next. I didn't do that many pages for 2020, mostly because, again, like I know that I'm not going to use them, so it doesn't really matter to me. And I actually don't really love how these pages came out, but I do think that I'll use them at least in the beginning. Like, I'm not going to transfer these over when I switch notebooks, because I'm sure that I will use this notebook up before the end of 2020. But right here, I'm kind of doing a lettering technique-ish. I lettered in that yellow color, and then I looked up at the monitor and I was like, you can't really see that. And then I looked back up my notebook and I was like, you really can't see that. So I decided to kind of do this dip-dyed lettering technique that I like to do. I really haven't used my Tombows that much lately, so it was kind of fun to be able to go in and use them a lot for these spreads. But what I did is I lettered with that yellow and then chose 2 other colors, an orange and a pink, to cover up, like to go over the yellow in different stages, different levels, to make it look like it's dip dyed. And you can't really see the yellow, like the first yellow on this page because it's really, really pale, but you can see it in person. And again, just using a kneaded eraser to pick up the pencil marks, and then doubling down on that yellow so it's a little bit easier to see. I definitely use my pastel Tombows more than I use my, like, the darker colors, but I like layering them and stuff. They layer really nicely, if you're careful enough. Like, you can't like go over them over and over again because they're water-based markers. Like, it's just kind of what happens. And they end up like pilling up the paper, which is why watercolor paper exists. Because you can't watercolor on regular paper because it'll pill. But honestly, like, you can go over Tombows probably, like, I don't know, you can go over them a good amount before they start to kind of eat the paper. But I decided to do yearly goals, like personal goals, and then goals for nerdy artists, and I left 10 check boxes for each. So we'll see if I end up using that. Oh, and I totally forgot, I set up January. So this is my January spread. I think it's just 1 page. I should have my journal in front of me, but I'm an irresponsible YouTuber, so but yeah, I decided to do my January setup just right here, just to put it all in one video. And I do definitely want to do more journaling videos. I have a lot of like review videos that I want to do for supplies and stuff, so I thought that would be fun. And I kind of thought it would be fun to show you guys kind of how I set up my spreads with all the pictures and the washi tape and all of that kind of stuff. So I picked this kind of like flowery, rosy picture, and then gold washi tape. That's my favorite washi tape. I really need another roll because I'm running out. But I put those together and I thought that was kind of cute, with like the dusty kind of rose color, and then the gold. And then I screwed up. I didn't even realize until I was most of the way through this. And I didn't realize that I was putting in the days for January from 2019, and I didn't realize it for a while, and I got through the whole thing and I was like, what's that interview that I have on the 1st? Like, what is that? Because I didn't remember like putting anything in there. And then I realized that it's from last year. I had a job interview on New Year's Day last year in Camden, and I was like, oh, it's the wrong one. And I was kind of sitting there kind of trying to decide what I wanted to do to fix it. So I ended up just putting the days of the week on the top of the calendar. Normally I have a Monday start, but I just made it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because then the boxes line up right. So that was my fix. It'll be kind of weird to have a Tuesday start for a month, but it's fine because I don't really refer back to these pages too much. And all of those things that are in there are in my my phone calendar anyway, so I'm not gonna like mix up anything like that. Like I know everything for the most part. And then what I was doing was writing my to-do list and blocking off everything from you guys accidentally. But it happened. And then just lettering a little bit on top with the yellow color. And then writing LOL, I wrote the calendar from 2019. So acknowledging my mistakes. And then the last thing that I thought I'd show you guys is kind of how I set up like the collage-y kind of pages that I do. So I did have those big dailies, and I found that feels like kind of a waste of space for me. So I kind of want to stop doing them. I do like having a time bar, but I don't like using that much. I don't like using an entire page for just one day, even though I do want to work through this journal. So I kind of went back to this collage-y style, and what I like to do is I like to do a whole spread, like a whole 2-page spread, kind of come up with like a color scheme, but it's not really that important. Like it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like groundbreaking. And I'll put in a few pictures. Sometimes I'll put in washi tape. Sometimes I don't know, like do like paint swatches and like different kind of stuff. But what I do is I do leave it blank. I don't like to put in the days in advance. So it's not necessarily a weekly spread. It's kind of a X amount of days, however many days fit on this page kind of spread. So I went through and I put in all of this was the day that I filmed. So I went through and I put in a little time bar, a 2-level time bar, just so it fit a little bit nicer. And then went in and put on my to-do list. I do like journaling in my notebook, so I wanted to leave some space for that. I haven't gone back in and journaled yet. But like eventually I think it'll all be like filled up with journaling and to-do lists and all of that kind of stuff. And I kind of like that cluttered kind of look. I think it's really cute. So I did that and then pulled out my color key and blocked out all of the times. And just because I'm not used to my color key yet completely, I decided to put little dots next to the corresponding tasks. So when I had something to do for YouTube, I would put a red dot next to it because that's my color for YouTube. And just filled in all of the time and made sure that I had blocked out time for each of my tasks, but also left enough time to like take breaks and relax and do like whatever I want to do. But yeah, and then I just lettered in Monday just kind of as an example. So I picked those 3 Tombow colors, and those will stay in my pencil case for the week just so I have, or until I finish that spread, just so I have them all. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!